Summer is over, executives and managers are back in the office, there to tackle challenges before the end of the year and to plan for the end of the year and for the next year as well. So there's a sense of urgency when people are back in the office. Kids are back in school as well. Then there's budget considerations. A lot of companies work on the January to December fiscal year. Every company has a fiscal year, which is their year, month to month of doing business. Typically, a lot of companies follow a January to December fiscal year. Sometimes the fiscal year coincides with the tax year. Mostly it's like that, but some companies it's different. And depending on who you target, which organization or which industry you target, those companies have different fiscal years. For example, in the retail business, their fiscal year generally starts in February, not in January like most other companies. They start on February 1st. The accounting year starts on February 1st because their retail sales come towards the end of the year, Christmas time, and then they wrap up in January. So they really push hard during that last few months, and then they close that fiscal year in January so they can show good results and so on. So that's an example of a company that has a different fiscal year than a calendar year. Choosing a fiscal year depends on the company. Different companies, different organizations can choose whatever the year they want. But typically, for most of us here, we will be targeting companies that have their fiscal at the end of December, which means that towards the end of that fiscal year, which is starting now, companies will be doing two things. One is they'll be spending leftover budgets. And two, they will be planning for the next fiscal starting January. So if you're having conversations with potential buyers, there may be opportunities for you either to land projects this year, at least a small project with their leftover budgets, if you're lucky enough, or you can get in those conversations about next year's planning and kind of make a budget for yourself. Consulting is notorious for not being budgeted for the most part. Some type of consulting like IT consulting and so on can be budgeted, especially the larger projects, but a lot of business and management consulting is not budgeted for. People find the money, they feel that there's a good value proposition from an external consultant. So those are the reasons why you want to ensure that you take advantage of September through end of November. And typically after that, people get into holiday mode.